Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the DreamWeavers Podcast.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome, welcome. And today we have the beautiful Crystal and Joe with us today, joining from the same location. So we're really excited to have them and get to know all about them. How are you guys today?
So good. Hello, hello.
Great. Welcome, welcome. Where are you guys located? If you I'm in New York. Ronnie, I forgot where you are. I know where
I'm,
you are. I just can't remember which state.
I'm currently in Madison, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
We are on location. We're in Little Hocking, Ohio. We are right
Okay.
on the Ohio River by West Virginia.
Oh,
And she's from
beautiful.
Marietta, so just about 20 minutes from here.
Lovely.
Southeast Ohio.
Okay. Hey, not too far from me.
Cool.
It's a day's drive. It's an 8-hour drive or
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, shall we just jump right in and hear all the cool things about you guys? So, why don't you give us some background and tell us a little bit about yourselves and we'll get going and what
Okay, you
people
wanna
want
go
to
first?
hear.
I'll go first. My name is Joe Edwards. Like I said, I live in Southeast Ohio. Probably my whole entire life, I have just known things like a knowing. Of course, I live in a small community. My grandmother was my Sunday school teacher, so we don't talk about things like that. I wasn't really reprimanded, just other than we just don't talk about it. And so it kind of sat on a shelf for a long time. But throughout the years, I have read a lot of books. I've gone to seminars. I've gone to retreats just for additional training because I felt really driven to help others. I am a retired nurse, so I no longer practice in the medical field, but I'm able to use my knowledge from my base knowledge from that to help others through a healing journey. So
Wonderful.
I do get to continue what is heart led.
And what is your favorite modality to use? Like what are you currently working with and working on?
Right now, I do a combination. Like it's almost like all the training that I've put myself through the years. My main focus right now is spirit alignment therapy, which I did go to Scotland for my certification, and I do a lot of with crystal singing bowls and music to help raise the vibration.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And so
Beautiful.
I do a combination of QHHT. And so I'm able to just kind of interweave them all. And my favorite is when people tell me they can't meditate. And I love to say, oh, wait, but you can. You do. You just don't know you do.
Yep. Yeah, I find that's a really common thing that people think they can't. And I'm like, did you wash the dishes today? Because you were probably meditating. That whole kind of a thing.
If you've ever driven from point A to point B and don't remember the drive, you were there.
All the
Yep.
time.
Yep. I was just talking about that with one of my friends today, that we both had that experience recently where it's just like, how did I get here? And oh my God, and you just go. Wonderful.
And I'll let Crystal introduce herself.
Yeah,
Yes.
Crystal.
Well, a little tidbit about her. She's my personal practitioner. So
Ooh.
like she does my hypnosis, and I just went through her 5-week spirit alignment program. I finished a few weeks ago. It is mind-blowing. It trudges up a lot of things. It brings just all of these things to the surface that you probably thought were already healed. And I had a lot of emotions to sort through in that, but afterwards there's this huge amount of clarity that happens, and it's been wonderful. So she's really, really good at what she does.
Nice.
So I had to toot her horn a little bit, but thank you. So yes, I'm Crystal Tackett. I have Wild Soul Services is my business, and my main modality has turned into sound therapy, frequency therapy, working with the biofield with tuning forks and crystal singing bowls. And all of those sorts of instruments that we can move vibrational things with. And I'm also a psychic medium, so I use that in session on individual sessions mostly. I do monthly sound baths locally through the building that I rent an office. I have a little wellness studio in there. And I think that my focus is just doing mind, body, soul alignment with adjusting the frequencies and the meditation stuff, where we can show people that even a mundane activity is actually meditation, and it doesn't have to be a 20-minute mind silencing experience to be movement and transitional for somebody. So my very first certification was in meditation before I knew like what I was going to do or how I was going to use any of these things. But a little background: I actually was adopted by a Mennonite family when I was 10 years old. I was in foster care with them at the age of 9, and had a
By
little
by
a
what fam?
Mennonite.
What is a Mennonite?
That is not Amish, but not very. It's a very strict traditional Christian religion. It's very mandated and very set rules as to how you behave and dress and all of those things. Now, we didn't wear bonnets and the jean skirts and those sorts of things that other people in our church did. So we weren't as strict as that level, maybe, but we definitely partook in all of those activities. And my life as a young child in that time frame was nothing but church, other than school and stuff. So there was a lot of deconstruction that happened later. I walked away from that at 17. Basically, it didn't feel right to me. And everything that I did feel and know, I've been communicating with spirit since I can remember. I don't remember a time not being able to do that. But like she had said, it was wrong and you weren't allowed to be a part of that in that environment. So I had to rebel and find my own way. And there was a lot of rebellion in there, hence the wild part, I think. But yeah, so I found my way to this in my mid to late 30s, actually. And just took one little breadcrumb at a time and was able to turn it into what it is now. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and so what is it now? So you're doing mostly, actually, you said something about, Deanna, what was it? The
The
Biofield
biofield.
therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so biofield therapy, there's a program, a software program that you purchase, and you can run photos or video through it. I only have the photo portion of the software, but I can take a picture of you prior to doing any work and any conversation. We use a nice blank white background to make sure we're picking up just your energy. And then you run it through the software, and it will read off of light deflection what is happening with your aura and your biofield, the energy outside of the body. So in the pictures that we get from it, just outside of the body, you'll get a ring of what we call aura, which is the closest part to you. And then it feeds out in layers out across the screen. What I do, because I can read energy, is I will do a reading on the person prior to running it through the biofield. If we're doing it remotely, I would look at the picture, I would read what I see and make notes on a picture, an outline of a human, and see what I see based on, is the sacral plugged? Is there things happening in the back of the mind or whatever? And then I compare that to what the photo shows to see my accuracy in my reading and show my clients, this is really happening. This is a photo of what your energy is doing. And then the second photo that we do is after an energy session. So we're either going to do, I am a Reiki master. So, and I also do Kundalini energy type. So I don't really call myself just Reiki. It's just more of an in general working with energy. But we'll do energy, but I'll also incorporate frequency with the tuning forks or the bowls to see what we need to unlock or move or get a chakra moving or whatever it is. And then it will pick up in the photo after of where the energy has transitioned. So in the first photo, you may have a closed throat chakra, and it's going to come up as a really dense colored area. It's going to be dark teal or red or dark orange. It's going to show up really dark. And then in the second photo, after we've worked on that, it will come up as like a blue, a really bright blue or a bright green. Blue will represent the healing energy, calming, healing blue energy. And then the green is vibrant vitality, and it will show that working in that area.
Mm.
Wow. That reminds me of, Carillion photography, something like that from,
Mhm.
got to go back a few decades. Um, and there was a certain kind of photography people would use to try to catch
Mhm.
auras on different things. I don't know that it was only on people. I think it might have been on anything living, but this sounds like it's like to a whole different, farther degree with
I
that.
think I don't recognize that name, but I think that they've taken the technology and just honed in on detailing that light reflection that's happening in the photo to actually make it more vibrant and visible to the eye. There are machines you can buy that will just they'll take a picture of you, but it will show up as just the aura where it's like more hazy. Mine comes in more pixelated, where it's kind of showing the rings and things, not just a fade.
Right. And you have some examples of that on your website, right?
I do, yes.
Excellent. Excellent. And we will put links to your website. If anyone's watching this by now that you're watching it, the links are at the bottom. So we'll make sure we have links to everything that we talk about, and so people can find you and so people
Yeah.
can do this. So wow, that is really fascinating. And I imagine it must be validating not just for your clients, but also for you to actually be able to physically see the
It
difference.
is.
I was
Yes.
thinking how great to have that tangible.
Mhm. It was very profound at first because just my nature is to second guess myself.
Mm.
Like I'm always going to be like hypercritical of what I'm doing. And I'm a Virgo. I like things to be a certain way, and I am very fixated on that. So when I was able to acquire this software, I was so excited because I wanted to mostly just practice and see what am I seeing, and is it accurate to what's going to come out? And it really was. And I wasn't expecting it to be like, if I see red around the crown, I wasn't expecting it to show up in a photo, and it does. So
Wow.
it was very validating for me. And then passing that along to the client that says, I don't know about this. And I'm like, well, you might, you might have to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
how did you two lovelies meet?
She came to me through another client of mine who I was seeing, and she referred her. So she started out as my client, and we did a couple like mediumship and psychic sessions. I don't know, maybe two or three.
Mhm.
And then I was offering a spirituality coaching course that I'm actually getting ready to launch again. I have revamped the entire program. But she went through that program, and it's a 5-week program, and we did session each week, and any channeling or anything that happened at the end of that, we would go through all of that. And at the third session, I looked at her and I said, I don't know why you're here. Because she was just the most advanced student that I had ever had. And I do very much like beginner stuff, I focus on that to help people coming into a spiritual awakening, or just some sort of enlightenment that they're not settled with, or they're not being able to figure it out on their own. And I'm like, honey, you are so beyond like what this program is. But I've loved her since day one. And we just started working together, like as friends, then working with each other on our different programs and bouncing things off of each other. And um, now she's my sister from another mister. And
I love
And
that.
didn't you say that you guys took QHHT together?
yes, so we ended up, I saw a sale. I saw a thing come through my email, and we had talked about it previously. And I said, hey, it's on sale. I haven't seen it this inexpensive. If you want to take it, I will take it with you. And so we ended up signing up and going through the course at the same time. Yeah. it made it so much better, I think, for me, because I was able to bounce things off of somebody physical and say, are you getting this? Like, what's happening with you? And it really helped my growth through that of understanding.
I agree. I agree
Yeah.
immensely
Yeah.
because
That's so important.
Yeah, I love QHHT. Like I don't offer it as a modality right now. She still does. I send all of my people to her that if they want that, but it is just one of the best things I think I've ever done to take myself to another level. To have that higher level of understanding of things that you don't have previous to that. It just was a launching pad for me, really.
Thanks for saying that because I honestly feel that way being because I think we said or I said earlier, I'm a level 2 QHHT
Yeah.
and also I do SCHH, which is where I met Kim
Yeah.
because her and I were going through the course together. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then everybody knows how Deanna and I met, but yeah, she was my case study for the SCHH. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
okay.
I don't you think she's right, Deanna, that it just takes what you already have and just takes you to that next level
Mhm.
and just
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh,
yeah.
yes. When I first listened back to what my higher self was saying and my guides that came in and then like sudden spontaneous channeling, it was quite a thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I think it's really worthwhile for people to get the sessions because you really do connect in a whole different way and
Hmm.
it makes you feel more complete almost like you just have this
It
new
does.
connection to yourself.
Mhm.
It fills in blanks. Like for
Yes,
me,
yes.
my voice, I struggle with my voice. I struggle with my throat chakra. I can write. I love to write, but getting it out of me, we were just talking about this, getting it out of me is a whole other story. So it's really helped me to, when I do my guided meditations and my sound baths, I've been able to control my voice so much easier and
Mhm.
use the tone to help with what we're doing. And recently, I've been being told that I'm to use my voice, but I'm not a singer, so I don't know where that's going to come into play. But
Ooh.
yeah, like it just really has honed in on my speaking voice and meditation voice for sure.
Oh yeah, I believe
Wonderful.
that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, are you guys doing stuff together or are you mostly working like I know that you guys are great friends and you work together for the betterment of each other, but do you have anything together that you do work-wise together?
Yeah, we individually have our own practices and do our own things, but we are working together. I created an event called Embrace and Elevate Wellness Retreat. And our first event is, I keep thinking it's June. We are in July. It is July 26th. And we are coming together. There's going to be 4 of us practitioners, me and 3 others. Joe is one. We're doing just multiple modalities of healing that day for a group of about 20 clients that are signed up at the moment. It's my first big event to this degree, so we're super excited about that. And of course, I had to have her along for the ride because I wouldn't do it any other way. But
I love this.
yeah, we're gonna do sound baths and meditation and yoga and breath work and
Some Reiki.
some Reiki.
And when is
Then
this again?
July 26th, it's a Saturday. 9 a.m. basically arrival and then 6 p.m. finish-ish. But we're gonna be doing a drumming circle and a release it into the flames uh, ceremony for people to release whatever it is that they need to write on paper. We're going to throw it in the fire and just end with that drumming circle and some prayer and things like that. But
So it's just the one day?
it is just a single day.
And
Um,
where is it again?
it is in Caldwell, Ohio, Caldwell, Caldwell.
Gotcha.
And it's at the lake there. They have a little lake, and so it's like a little remote area that I rented the lake, and we're gonna be set up right by the water, um, and with some facilities and stuff on site. So yeah, we're on crunch time now, so we've been working. I've been working really hard to get everything and organized. It's funny, I have this stuff sitting right next to me because I was working on this before the event, but This is a little packet that comes with it. You get
Aw.
an entry bracelet and a inspirational pen and a notebook, a journal. But that'll all come with
Wonderful.
it. And we had t-shirts made. I don't know if you can see my t-shirt.
Yes, I love it.
Yes.
So Embrace and Elevate, my t-shirt girl is a client of mine. So through conversation, I had told her about how I had seen how someone had put crystals into ink. And we had a conversation about whether or not that was possible. And she goes, well, I think it is. And so these shirts have clear crystal quartz embedded in the ink itself. So
That
they,
is
Shut the front door.
amazing.
yeah,
What?
yeah, it's so remarkable. So the leftovers will be for sale on my website.
I was gonna say,
But-
so can people also find this retreat on your website? And
Yes.
are you full yet?
We are not full yet.
Oh, good.
Tickets are only on sale until the 20th. So for, I don't know how many more days that is.
About
6.
6 more days.
Yeah, for about 6 more days, I need to have a cutoff so that there will be a light lunch included and stuff. So for me to get the rest of the itinerary in place, I cut out that last 6 days.
Well,
But-
that's a bummer because yeah, okay. Well, that's okay. We're gonna,
There will be more, I promise. So
Okay.
this was the stepping stone, I guess, to kind of put myself out there and see if I could do it, because I've
Mhm.
had this outline of this retreat in my books for maybe 3 years. It's been something that's been on my mind and on my heart for a really long time. And so my goal is to turn this into a 2-year event, one being a day retreat, one being a weekend retreat, and then eventually working up to a getaway where we can go on location somewhere like Lake Michigan or even Florida maybe, or something like that.
Or
Oh my
wherever your
gosh.
background is.
Yeah, or wherever
wherever
those
the
trees are.
well, it's not my background. It
Right.
is not. It is generated. No, I am in Madison, Wisconsin. There's no palm trees here.
There's no, yeah, not there, is there?
No, not here. But soon, yes. So here's what I'm thinking is, yeah, this episode will actually come out next Monday, meaning it'll be right after that. However, what we can do, Deanna, is have them
Yep.
back to talk about your next one and then have some folks on to give all the rave reviews.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
And we
so
can
this-
promote it on the website also, right? On the Facebook
Yeah.
website.
If I had a couple people that came to me after the 20th and said that they were just gonna die if they couldn't come,
Okay, there you
Okay.
go,
Then-
guys. There you
then
go.
All right. You
then
guys
I
Because
will
heard
that
it.
make
makes-
room for you. I will make
Okay,
room for
because
you.
yeah, because in 6, yeah.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
that'll be like the 21st or 22nd. So you heard it here.
Yep.
She'll take you if you come in.
Yeah.
Yay, that's so kind. Thank you. Thank
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
they mention this podcast. How about we put
Thank
that there?
you.
You mentioned the podcast.
yeah,
and then...
I think that's actually kind of a given, right? Because how else
Yeah.
would they learn?
this is true.
So yeah, but yes, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so so you guys are working on the retreat to do that together. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah.
Is there
We
anything else
also
that you're
have
doing together?
Yeah, we recently did a dual sound bath where we hosted a sound bath in the park, and she was on one side and I was on the other, and we played
The crystal bowls.
yeah, we both have the crystal bowls, and I have a gong, and she has drums and all the things, and we just created this whole sound immersion, and it
Turned
went
into-
really, really well.
Turned into this big healing session of the chakras.
Yeah,
I
it was-
bet.
Yeah,
Oh, that
so-
sounds beautiful.
if you go to my Facebook, there's actually a couple clips of that event on my Facebook.
Okay.
Okay.
It was from like 3 weeks ago.
Oh,
So,
wonderful.
Okay. I
so we
think
plan on doing that more.
combining the sound and the healing just is so powerful. I know I did healing on I don't know, it was about 12 or 13 people. I think 12 people, myself and my healing partner. We did a big group healing. For us, it was big. And we had people doing the sound bath at the same time.
Yeah.
And the energy just is amazing when you combine all of that together, because the sound is healing you, the energy is healing you.
Yeah.
And for you guys to do it on either side, I'm just thinking it just creates this whole path.
And we were under a pavilion, so it
Oh,
was really
wonderful.
Does
amplified,
the
and we were using microphones to really like
Yeah,
bring that
we
sound.
walked him down. We did a guided meditation,
Mhm.
walked him down, got him into a good space.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were able to do some light language with like I like Crystal, like it's supposed to be right here. But I could do the hands.
Yeah, that's me too. That's me
She
too.
has
My
the light
hands go,
language.
but yeah, I don't say it that often. But you know, I was actually just talking to somebody, oh gosh, it was yesterday, and we were talking about light language and how some people it just flows through their voice, other people it flows through their hands or through their
Mhm.
art or through, I mean, playing the bowls can be light language because you're spirit
Mm.
driven. You know, soul language comes in so many different dialects, for lack of a better way to describe it. So,
Mhm.
um, yeah, I think it's wonderful even doing it with your hands or anything.
I've I've been to a couple of sound baths, and
Hmm.
I know this one time I the energy, the vibrations were entirely different than, just depending upon the
Mhm.
practitioner, right? But I'm wondering
Yeah.
now, connecting some dots, I'm like, I wonder if she had some of that light language happening,
Yeah,
knowing or
very well could be.
unbeknownst. She could have not even known she had some of that going on, you
Yeah.
know? I'm
That
just saying
started
it
to
was an
open up.
amazing one.
Yeah, that started to open up in some of the ones that I've done. I've only been doing the group sound baths. I do them monthly, but I've been doing them about 9 months now. So that was kind of a newer thing too, to do them for more than just a person. So I've learned a lot in the last year about these things and how people are reacting and that. And a lot, I do everything spirit led. Everything just comes out of me, and I'll
Mhm.
I'll set an
Mhm.
intention for the sound bath. And if it's, for emotional balance, then that's what we focus on, and that's what my words will be about. But as far as what I play, it is whatever spirit tells me and guides me through it. So my hands are going like this, and then I'll put a mallet down and I'm going like this. And there's all kinds of things happening in that moment. I think it's easier because they have their eyes closed. Like all
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
movement
yeah,
happens. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, that sounds so powerful. And you guys do these all right in the Ohio area, right? Do
Yes.
you do anything remotely?
Yes. We both do sessions remotely depending on what it is and what the need is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My
Good.
the biggest thing I do remotely is I'll use um, the SAT for like I'll do a clearing and a reading. And those are the easiest things for me to do remotely. I've actually done the block of five or the 5 sessions remotely, but I just feel when we're talking, because I like Crystal, we use the tuning forks. I do a lot to raise their vibration before I even go into session to get them in a good place. So that's really hard to fit in remotely
Mm-hmm.
to do. I mean, it happens, it works, but I think it's more powerful in person.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yes, I agree. I agree with that. I mean, energy can't be stopped, but sometimes when you're in the same auric field, in that 26 foot or however far, 5 foot, 20, there's different theories,
Yeah.
then it just kind of it feels a little different. It feels a little bit more intense.
Remotely, I've found, of course, my poor family, like I've abused all of them. But I did find that if they wear an eye mask, if
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing something remotely, if they wear an eye mask and use earbuds, they're more focused and
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
they can listen better. Um, Even in live sessions, I have found through my family that they would prefer to use an eye mask because
Mhm.
my husband, the ADD, ADHD, he wants to peek.
Yes, yes. No, I get that. Yeah, I think it's a really good tool just because it helps the person that's receiving stay in the moment and stay in the
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm. Hmm. I
Mhm.
actually had my Reiki attunements done remotely. Actually, my friend lived in Ohio, which is,
Oh.
Hmm.
yeah. And they were quite powerful. But
Mhm.
in the very beginning, it was hard for me to kind of tune in. And I think I did put in earbuds, or I put on headphones probably at that time. I don't know if there were earbuds. I don't remember, but it's been a while. Just just to kind of quiet everything down. It's possible for sure. I know that, but I agree that in person it's probably a lot easier, especially if you're using all the tools. Can you tell me a little bit about the tuning forks? Because I have heard of them being used medically, but I haven't really heard a lot about how they work in a energy type healing.
I started out with a C note.
Mhm. So that's like one tuning fork attuned to the sound
That's
to
one, but I have a
kind of like,
set. I have a chakra set
okay.
as does
Mhm.
Crystal. But I needed to start somewhere, and I wanted to practice on myself just to. And I know C node is your root, and what a great place to start
Mm-hmm.
is to get yourself grounded and stable and supported. So I'm an avid reader, so I read a lot, trying to put pieces together. And so I started out with a C note, pinging there's different ways to ping your tuning forks. But if you ping it and do your crown, your third eye, your throat, your heart, and then your solar plex, it brings down your cortisol levels.
Oh,
Mm.
and
So,
that's stress, right?
yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it will bring your stress levels down very quickly. And I do that a lot for myself before I go into session,
Mm-hmm.
just to bring myself down. And then of course I ask spirit to come in and give me my words, just like I did before I got on here.
Right. Me
Yes,
too.
yes,
Me too.
always.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
So,
don't be modest. So she has went through several books and handwritten out a series of, I don't, you can't call it music, right? But a series of notes that may be like 3 or 5 tones or hertz to use, like the singing bowls or whatever, to create like anti-stress or anti-anxiety or fill in the blank.
Oh,
And
so you've created your own.
she
Yeah.
has.
So
And
yeah.
yes, it's incredible.
that is
So
cool.
That's so
I do,
great.
there's like I have some made out for grieving. Um,
Mm.
some of my clients, especially the ones that lost children, I
Yeah.
can use the tuning forks. But since I've written it all out and I know that the singing bowls are a musical note as well, I can play the singing bowls as well using what I've written out, what we're trying to help with.
That is fantastic.
Oh,
I've never heard of anyone doing that before.
that's so cool.
What a
We're gonna get it
service.
on paper. I'm pushing her to, I
Yeah.
just got her business cards made like a month ago. So
I'm over here like somebody's got to do it, right?
I like the way you just got hers done. I like that. I like
yeah,
that.
like I was like, you have to have these. You have to have them. And how many do you have left? Not many.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yes, I want her to package this information in a way that we can provide it
For
to
others,
clients.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even
Yep.
if you made recordings for people and
Right.
sold them as therapeutic recordings, you know?
Well, I could.
Yes.
I've asked people have asked me, but I like Crystal, mine's all heart and spirit led. So I don't have anything prepackaged. Like, yes, I have a guide, for the
Mhm.
modality. But when I go in and ask spirit to give me what you need, every single
Yeah.
one is different. And so my clients will say, "Oh, is it scripted? Can I have it?" And I'm like, it's not scripted.
Well,
I
so a
just
couple of ideas are, of course, number one, record it when you're doing your client so that that way they can have it, you
I
know?
do with their QHHT
Yeah.
sessions.
Yeah, the same way that we do with the QHHT, you can just totally record it and give it to them even with the sound stuff. And number two, maybe you could sit down with Crystal right there and tune in, tap into the collective and be like, what do people need? And play it for her and record it,
Did you
you
hear
know?
that? She's
Oh,
brilliant.
gee, because you haven't thought of this, right?
There's your validation. Yep.
I know. Like when
So you're
when a
welcome.
message needs to be received, sometimes we don't listen.
Maybe.
It's kind of like when I talk to my husband.
Oh, gee, yeah, well.
If I make it your idea, will it sound better? I'm just teasing, but yeah.
Well,
No, that's brilliant though. It is exactly like what I think that she would lead into and
just
take
tap
take
in,
it to
like
that
do it with your
place.
bestie and
Yeah.
just tap into that energy and just what needs to be heard by the masses.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that
who's
sounds.
and people who are ready to hear it will hear it. Those who aren't ready to hear it won't.
Right.
And that's kind of where I am in my practice. Unlike Crystal, I'm still old school. I'm the older sister. Even in our past life together, I was the older sister.
Yeah.
So it was a big deal. Like she peer pressured me into business cards. Like I really like them. They really did.
Well, so tell us
Yeah.
more about the sister past life experience.
Yes. As much as you want
So
to.
yeah, no, it's fine. So we discovered it through mind. Is that correct? I remember things, but sometimes
I'm
that's
guessing
lacking.
this is when you guys were going to the QHHT session or
Yeah, we were. Let me think.
lessons is what I meant to say during the QHHT.
So I think she's done several sessions on me thus far because something else kind of happened in the midst of that.
Oh, yes,
And I'll mention that, and if you want to talk about more about that, we can. But
Absolutely.
we met a council of 7. And that has been a driving force for most of the things that I do in connection to the other side, and a guiding force for all of us. And through these sessions, I think it was the second session. I don't think it was the first one, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So I had a person that I went to a few times to help guide me in my journey, trying to figure out, like, what do I do with all of this? I don't know where to get started, kind of thing. And she had told me at one point that I had, it was like a Dutch style life, and that I worked the fields and I worked in the kitchen and I just worked and worked and worked. And that's really all I did. And I was really, really sick in that lifetime. And I had a lot of stomach problems. And some of that was carrying over into present day. Fast forwarding to our session, through the hypnosis, I had said that during that specific lifetime that had been brought to my attention previously, that the way that I sustained what I was doing on this farm was Joe was my older sister, and she was the one caring for me. And that was how our souls were connected in another life. And I think something came from your side of it too. I just don't remember. Do you remember? It came up again in her session and she said things about it as well. I just can't remember exactly what that was.
And for some reason, I've always been the big sister. We've had more than one encounter. I've always been the big sister. I've always taken care of. And my big thing that came through was a healer and taking care of children, protecting children. And then when I come out of it, she's like, I'm gonna have a party mouth. I want to be a fucking warrior princess.
Yes.
I came out of hypnosis and I'm like, that's not, or brought her out of hypnosis and I said, that's not fair. I want to be a warrior fucking princess. And
who doesn't? Are you kidding me? I want to be a
right?
warrior fucking princess. Like, who does not?
I
Yes.
know. And because she was in that lifetime, she was this warrior princess, quite literally, and she was protecting this group of children from a village that had been attacked, and there was like spiritual warfare happening, and they were coming after the purity of the children, and she was there to say, no, you're not taking them. This isn't happening. And that whole scenario came about. But yeah, that was one of the connections.
Oh, wow.
Don't you want to be a warrior princess as well, Deanna?
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know. Sometimes I think I already am.
I want a sword and a dragon. That's it. Give me a sword. Give me a dragon. I'm golden.
Oh my gosh, that would be so fun.
Yeah.
I actually do a session where I walk people down and they ride a dragon.
Oh. Ooh.
When Sorry, that's my dog.
No, that's okay.
When
Right.
my last session with Joe for her spirit alignment therapy, the fifth one, I happened to have my granddaughter. I had her for vacation, but I ended up getting her early, and I was like, "Well, do I cancel?" Or she's like, "Oh no." She's like, "Let's just bring her and we'll work it out." So my granddaughter's 6, and she was just enthralled about coming and sitting and meditating with Gigi and her new friend Joe, and was so
Mm.
excited about it. But we do our meditation, and it was about the dragon and all of that. And then we wake up or we come out and we take our masks off, and laying on Arabella's lap was a stuffed dragon that Joe had bought her. And just, oh, the face lit
Oh,
up. She was like, oh, like that's for
oh,
me. Like it was
Aw,
just so
oh,
special.
that
So
got
yeah,
me.
that is so
yeah,
That is
sweet.
great.
yeah.
So,
That thing of going above and beyond, and she did that, and it was awesome. But
Well, it was
Mm.
funny that my I the name of my little business is the magic the magic in you. And so I talk a lot about magic.
Aw.
Well, I do clearings before people come to my house because I work out of my home.
mm-hmm,
Mhm,
And so
mhm.
I need to keep my space
Very
clear.
clear.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so I went in to clear Crystal and her granddaughter before they came. And then Crystal texts me and she's like, "Did you get into like Arabella's space?" And I'm like, "Just a little."
Aw.
yeah,
So
Oh,
she's singing about magic.
she was just like, I recorded her before we even got there, and she was singing about magic, and I'd never heard
wow.
her. I didn't know what she was talking about. I was like, wait a second, like something clicked, and I text her, and she's like, yeah. I'm like, no way. So I sent her the
Wow.
Aw.
video, the Snapchat of hers, my granddaughter, just randomly singing about magic. It was hilarious. Yeah.
You
It's
got one on your
amazing.
hands there that's got some
Oh,
stuff. Oh my gosh.
she is just beyond anything I could ever imagine. And all I keep telling my son is keep her light on, no matter what, keep her
Mm-hmm,
light on, never suppress who she is or what she is. Let her shine that light because she is something special. And I
mm-hmm.
am biased by saying that. I am 100% biased.
Trust me when
But
I tell you I understand a lot because I
Yeah.
feel the same way about my granddaughters. Yeah.
I think there's a generational thing that happens. Like,
It's
with that
amazing.
generation that is just different. They will see and do things in a different way than what we know this
Mhm.
world to be. They will be guided by intuition. They will lead into it without the hesitation that we all have had to deal with. And so, yeah,
And
keeping their lights on.
they keep the memories more than we did. You know, each
Mhm.
generation is almost like closer to spirit or closer to their true selves.
Mhm.
At least
Mhm.
from what I've seen and what I've read and learned is they are closer to they just remember more.
They
And
do.
even if they can't verbalize it or, act on it, somehow you see like when they're singing spontaneously or something
Mhm.
they believe so much more. And
I
Yeah.
find that they
yeah.
show it through their actions,
Yep. Or even their
you know?
words. I mean,
Yeah,
they'll say
because
these
there's
wise things or past life
so,
things.
yeah,
Mhm.
such wise things.
Absolutely.
And
Mhm.
their ability to accept and navigate is just incredible to me.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
love their acceptance level. I think that's the one that gets me is because there's so much to learn in that because
Mhm.
sometimes, it helps check the unconscious bias. Like,
Yes.
wow, I had a moment about that. Thank you for that. It's
Check
really
mark.
great.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
which I just find so incredible.
And it's
Aw.
it's funny when you think about it because there used to be a show on, and this is way back, before my time, I'm sure, but maybe not. It was Art Linkletter, who was like a comedian and stuff, and his show was Kids Say the Darndest Things. Now, I'm not talking
Yep.
about the one with Steve Harvey. Before that, in the black and white days, and you could hear it then too that sometimes kids would say things that were either yes, unintentionally funny or something, but also sometimes they were so wise.
Mhm.
And I think that these later generations are just holding on to that wisdom a little tighter and a little longer. And I think that as we move forward through, we're heading out of 3D, floating in 4D, working towards 5D, all this stuff and all the changes that are coming and are starting, um, they're the ones that are going to lead us through. I think there's a saying somewhere about a small child guides them or something, but I don't know. I think I heard it somewhere, but it's true. I think
I
they're,
don't know. I just have the out of the mouths of babes,
yeah,
that's,
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I think
yeah.
it's
they're so
really
amazing.
present to listen to the child. It's so in our nature to hush them or
Mhm.
dismiss something that they say because it maybe
Suppress.
doesn't make, yeah, it doesn't make complete sense or whatever. And I was suppressed. I know you were, we don't want to pass that forward. So yeah, she
So
does the
much so.
same thing with her grandkids and her kids, even
Yeah.
adult kids, that just whatever it is, let's talk about it. Let's get it out and let's express it so that it's not being held in. And yeah.
One of the things that I do with my daughter, she was in Montana. She's a school
Mhm.
teacher, and she's very in tune with keeping her room cleared. Um, she
Oh, good.
smudges, she does all the
Mhm.
stuff, but she, at a couple of occasions, have done a SOS, like with a small child, and I got parental permission and went in and did a clearing and lifted some nasties off of these children. And it makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It
And so,
does.
I do get that frequently. Now all of her teacher friends they have my number.
Oh,
Go in
good.
and smudge all the
Mama Joe's on
classrooms.
speed
Good.
dial.
So it's amazing
I
that
used to,
when you clear these energy off of these children, it's night and day for
The
them.
behavior changes,
Yeah.
the way that they handle themselves and can kind of work out of a situation rather than going into that emotional uprise. Like I see that with my granddaughter too. We taught her from day one that, you can cry and be in an emotional state, and that's okay, but let's breathe through it so we're not hyperventilating or,
holding.
Right.
yeah. And so she will, I'll just say breathe, and she'll go, and take that breath. And there was a point in that where she will express like really loudly. She was probably
Mm.
like 4, and I'm not going to do it because it would be really loud, but she would just take this breath and just it out. And just
Beautiful.
from the moment that she did that, I'm like, oh, I'm doing this. Like anytime I
Yeah.
would feel
Yeah.
like stressed or like really tight, I would just and just yell, just
Yeah, it works.
like
Mhm.
let
I
that out.
think
And I'm like,
we've all,
oh my gosh, I feel
I'm
better.
famous for doing that in my vehicle.
Yeah. That's a good
I do it
place.
in my vehicle because, well, yeah, because I'm closed off, and not
Yep.
everybody has to hear me,
Yep.
and and then I open up the doors and let it all go.
That's right.
Yeah, or the
Yes.
windows, depending. But yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah, and just
so
let it all go.
in order for us to teach our children who are now teaching our grandchildren,
Mm.
I had a bragging moment on my youngest granddaughter.
Hmm.
She struggles a lot with emotions, and so my daughter texted me one night. She said, "Mom, she did it." And I'm like, "What'd she do?" She's like, "I told her just like you told me, smell the flower and blow out the candle." And
Mm-hmm.
so she can bring herself
Mhm.
down now with smelling the flower and blowing out the candle. And she was at school one day and a little girl fell and nobody stopped but my granddaughter, Sammy.
Mm.
And she sat beside her. A teacher witnessed it and said, "It's okay. I'll help you smell the flower and blow out the candle. And if that doesn't help, we can count till an adult gets here."
Oh.
And
And
how old is
so,
she?
Oh.
and so she
How old is
she
she?
just turned 6.
Mhm.
Oh.
And so
That is the most amazing thing ever. Yep, that one. Whoo, child, I thought the other one got
I
me. Wow,
know,
that one.
Got the water going.
right?
Oh yeah. Well,
So it
anybody who
is.
knows me knows I cry a lot. It's okay. I'm still pretty cool.
Me too. I've just heard the story already. Otherwise, I'd
Yeah.
be right with you.
and
That is
so
amazing. Oh
but
my
it's just the little
gosh.
things that we can do.
Mhm.
I'll
Um,
sit
We
with
have to
you.
change. Yeah.
yeah, and so um, even if Crystal and I continue our sound baths, which we will, and these huge healing sessions,
Yeah.
it's okay. If I light up one person at a time in
Mhm.
Southeast Ohio, that's what I'll do.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
It's
that's
the
how it starts,
individual.
right? Is one at a
Yep.
time.
Put the candles together and then you get
Yes.
the bigger
Yeah.
I
flames. So, yep.
I knew that us doing this sound bath that we did, I knew it was going to be a big deal, even if it was just for a small group of people. And I knew that it was going to feel transformative in that
Mm.
moment. And I have been asking pretty much since I got the location that I have now to have her join me. And she's like, okay, yeah. okay, yeah. And then finally said yes. And I'm like, okay, when are we doing the next one?
Ah,
Let me get you in the books.
she's kicking your butt. I think she's the big sister now and kicking you out of your comfort zone, Joe.
I'm pulling her right with me.
Just
I told her
saying.
wherever I go, she has to go with me or I'm terrified. So
I love it. I
I
love
think
it.
it's wonderful though, the way you guys have combined your
Yeah.
past lives into your present life. And in so doing, not just helping each other anymore, but also helping the greater world. And I mean, it sounds like you've done it before as you've been the warrior princess and all that, but
They had a claymore and everything.
oh my
I love
God.
it.
Yeah, I'm
I love it.
jealous. That would be fun. Um,
Yeah.
but just to think about how much you're doing now, even more, like every life, you're just amping it up a little bit, or cycle or life or whatever you want to say. So,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, it's so great.
Absolutely amazing stuff that you guys have going on there in your neck of the
Thank you.
woods.
Thank you so
Man, I
much.
can't wait to
Yeah.
keep up with you guys and
Yeah.
know what is coming. You guys have to come back.
Absolutely. Yes,
So
this is so
yeah.
fun. I love this so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah,
Good.
we
I
definitely
know.
want to hear about your event and how it goes
Yeah.
and
Yeah. We're
you
gonna go
know,
ahead and get you scheduled for that here soon.
yes,
Well,
Yeah.
we
we'll
might
do
be able
that.
to do a little taste of a healing session.
Oh, we
Like
could.
right now?
We are like so on board for
I
that.
don't have bowls here.
Yeah, we don't have bowls.
My
yet.
bowls are at my office. I two sets
Okay.
and they're both at my office, but
Okay.
Okay.
next time we totally could.
Absolutely. We would
Game
like
on.
I
But
jumped on it
what
before you even
we
stopped
could do
talking.
is we could clear you both and send a reading, and then we can discuss that. Well, that's up to you. It's kind of personal sometimes.
I'm
I'm
open. I
sorry,
got a
say that again.
numerology reading on here once and I was cool
Yeah,
with it.
we don't
So
care.
Yeah,
yeah. Oh my God, that does
yeah,
sound like fun. That sounds like a lot of fun.
we can
And
totally do that.
Let's do
yeah,
it.
we would love to do that and hear about all the fun stuff because after you do your retreat, I mean, I have a feeling your ideas and your thoughts are going to be popping for the
Mhm.
next one. If you haven't already got it on the books, you probably will.
I
Great.
promised myself that because I'm a happy little planner. I love planning things. It just brings me so much joy to
Yep.
watch things come to fruition. I get so excited. But I promised
That's your
myself.
Virgo.
So cute.
That's
Yes.
definitely your
That
Virgo.
is so
Definitely
cute.
so. Like,
Yep.
absolutely. But I promised myself I wouldn't schedule or even look at dates until I got this one in the books and
Right.
complete. I wanted my focus to stay right where it is, and I'm going to start some clearing work on myself for the next 8 or 10 days. I'm going to change my diet even so that I am perfectly aligned with that day in that moment, so that we can make this be what it needs to be for everyone that's there, and then for the future things that are going to happen with it. And when we come back, we'll have to talk about the council.
Yes.
Yeah.
We definitely did not get to that, and we do
Yeah,
want to hear
that's
about
okay.
that. So you know
Yeah.
what? We're gonna leave that as a teaser.
Ooh.
There you go.
We're gonna
I
leave
was
That's
that
gonna
as a
say,
perfect.
give me a
teaser.
5 minute. Okay. All right. I'm
No,
with you.
let's
I'm with
hold
you.
on
I'm
that.
with
We'll
you.
get you guys back,
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
everyone who's listening, you better tune in because it sounds
Yeah,
like it's
it's
gonna be
good.
big.
It's good.
It
It
sounds
is.
good.
There's a
And
lot
you call
of
it the Council of Five, right?
well, the Council of Seven, so it's the
Council of
Celestial
Seven.
Seven, or I just refer to them as the Council. They are 7 entities that communicate through me. I'm working currently on through hypnosis. We've brought the group out and spoke. They've spoke individually. We've listened to my voice change. We've gotten bits of information. We're doing a grand alignment in that probably after the event. Now we were trying to get it done before, but we're gonna do hypnosis one more time. Except for I'm gonna be awake and aware, and we're gonna just do the entire thing with just very much placement and talking to the council in a more open state, which I have done on a few different occasions, but not in depth and for length. And so we're going to do that for the first time to open up that platform channeling for me and her as my guide through that.
We will invite the council should they wish to speak on our podcast. They are welcome.
They
Absolutely.
absolutely will. They absolutely will.
Oh
I don't
boy,
think
we
that they
have
would have. I don't think that I would have been inclined to mention it if they weren't pushing for that information to be shared.
yes. Well,
That's
we are
what this
definitely
podcast is all about.
Yep.
Just getting the messages out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So many messages from so many places, all leading like right down the same path of light and love and
Exactly.
Absolutely.
healing. So
Yes.
I think that this is a good place for us to stop because I don't want to give away any more information about the council because I'm
You
as
guys are so
excited.
great.
I
I'm so
know. I'm
excited to have
excited,
you
but I
back.
love the thought that
Oh, I have one quick question, Deanna. Real quick, Crystal, Joe, do you guys work in equal exchanges of energy?
Yes.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, we'll get you
Yes.
listed. We'll get you listed on the Dreamweavers page. All right,
Yep.
Awesome. Yes.
perfect. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. All right.
Okay.
So I will say thank you so much for you guys being here. We
Thank
loved
you.
this
Thank you.
talk. And to everybody out there in YouTube or other lands, we're glad you joined us. As always, if you have questions or comments, throw them down there. We read them, we answer them, we like them.
We
Like,
love
share,
them.
subscribe, all that stuff. But most of all, everybody remember, be blessed, be blissed, and we will see you next time. Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye,
Ciao.
everyone.
Bye.